Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG Build Guide Edition. Today I'm ready to drop on you my new Shapeshifter Druid. We use human form, werebear form, and of course werewolf form. At time of recording I am level 88 and we are pushing Nightmare Dungeons 50 plus. This build is an absolute blast to play. As always, I will cover every single facet of the build. Everything is timestamped in the description below if you need to bounce around. Let's not waste any time and jump right into this. Starting off with some gameplay. Now the skills I'm using for this shapeshifter are Debilitating Roar, Trample, Poison Creeper, Cyclone Armor, Maul, and Shred. Simple concept. Your main damage dealer Shred, you will be a werewolf. Your generator and your defenses, you are going to be using Werebear, and then Poison Creeper and Cyclone Armor, you're going to turn into human form, which means you're going to be shape-shifting the entire time. And by shapeshifting, you are going to get a damage boost, you're going to get life, and you are going to get fortified. This really is a jack of all trades build. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to play some Nightmare Dungeon tier 42, then jump up to Nightmare Dungeon tier 50, and then I'm going to show you some boss kills. At time of recording, I am currently level 88. All right, Nightmare Dungeon tier 42. And we should just walk through this pretty easily. Now, this build requires no uniques. You don't got to go hunt for hundreds of hours to find X item. No uniques needed. I am currently using no uniques. Now, shape-shifting. Every single time you go from wolf to bear, bear to human, human to bear, however you want to look at it, when you shape-shift, you are going to get life, damage, damage reduction, fortify. You get so much from shape-shifting, and obviously you're shape-shifting the entire build. This is Nightmare Dungeon 42. Pretty darn easy. All right, let's go do something more difficult. Let's get in the 50s. Let's go get in the 50s. Nightmare Dungeon tier 51. And now once we're getting into the 50s, I mean, obviously you are going to be slower. Things take a couple extra swipes to die. But again, at level 88, like, we are fine from a survivability standpoint. And everything still, you know, dies pretty quick. Look at these freaking flies. Come on, give me more enemies. Come on, all of you, come and get me. All dead? No? You will notice this entire time our Fortify has been maxed almost the entire run through. Because again, we are switching forms so often. Die. Get him. All right. We'll say this is the last little room. Elite. Smoked. Just smoked. All right. Boss fight. Same Nightmare Dungeon tier 51. Now these enemies are 105. 105. And we are currently level 88. Come on. There it is. Big hits. Stop hitting me, flies. Let me show you how to recreate this build. Starting off with the skills for our shapeshifter. We are not doing damage with our generator, so you only want to put 1 point in, but you do want to take Fierce Maul, longer range, longer radius, hit more enemies, more spirit coming back to you. On top of that, we are pairing it with Abundance, which is just going to help generate that much more spirit. We also have 9 points into Shred. Again, this is our main damage dealer, but unlike a Flicker build or my Poisonous Shredder build, this one we are face tanking, so you actually want to take Raging Shred. On top of that, of course, we're taking Predatory Instinct for base crit and Iron Fur for damage reduction coming in and out of Werebear. Moving on down, we actually have 2 defensive skills. We are taking Debilitating Roar with Preserving and Cyclone Armor with Innate. Innate is going to give us more vulnerability to enemies when you need it. We are using the exploit glyph, but you are going to use this when you hit a big boss or the butcher, or a large pack works as well. And then right here with Preserving, it is just going to give you basically a potion when you need it. And both of these make it very easy to keep your vigilance up, which is an increased 15% damage reduction. Coming on down to Companion, we are spec'd right now into Poison Creeper. Now, to be clear, even though it shows 5 here, this is because my helmet has a +4. We really only have 1 point into Poison Creeper, and this helps us just obviously poison everyone, but every time everyone poisoned by your Creeper is also taking increased crit chance. So you run in, you poison them, you tear them up with Shred. Moving on down, we have a singular point into Trample. This is your movement skill, and this is, I'm frozen, I'm stunned, I'm feared, I'm CC'd, I need to get out. Use Trample in that situation. We have 1 point into Neurotoxin, 1 point into Toxic Claws, and 3 into Envenom. Coming on down to Ultimates. Little interesting. No Ultimates really fit in this build. Lacerate just isn't strong enough right now. Now, I did play around with Petrify. So if you wanted to spec out of Poison Creeper and into Petrify, you can do that. The only reason why I didn't is because Petrify literally has a 40+ second cooldown. If it didn't have that long of a cooldown, it would literally be an amazing pairing for this build. But I went Poison Creeper. Poison Creeper is awesome also. Now, we are a Shapeshifter. So these are the actual 3 main nodes we really care about. Quick Shift, Natural Fortitude, and Heightened Senses. Right now I have extra 3 points for Quick Shift on my amulet. So when Shapeshifting skill transform you into a different form, it deals 30% increased damage, which is huge. You're going to get Fortify, you're going to get damage reduction, and through an aspect, you are going to be getting life. So I'm going to say that one more time, okay? You're going to get a damage boost, you're going to get Fortify, you're going to get life, and you're going to get damage reduction every single time you shapeshift. So it makes the build really work. And then our last one is your Strength, which is going to give us an additional 30% damage. Now, if you did want to mix this up a little bit, okay? You could pull this 1 point out of Defensive Posture. This is kind of like my throwaway point. And you can come over here and pull 1 point out of Generator. And that gives you 2 more. And you can go over here onto Trample. And then you get to pick. Do you want extra Fortify? Or do you want Spirit? I would personally actually take the Spirit so you could generate more shreds. But if you want to spec into Trample, you can do that. Again, you're only giving up those 2 points. That is personal preference. Those are the skills. Moving over to the Spirit Boons. Top line, you want to take Wariness. This is a best in slot for pretty much every Druid build. On the second line, you want to activate your Raven, and you have 3 options: Talons, Swooping Attacks, and Wrath. I took these 2 because we're already getting a big crit chance increase from Poison Creeper. But if you like having better base crit chance, you can move Wrath over, or you can move Swooping Attacks over. We already have a ton of attack speed, personal preference. On the third line, I've taken Pack Leader. Now, even though I'm not spec'd into Lucky Hit, Poison Creeper has a natural Lucky Hit built into it. So a lot of times Poison Creeper can literally reset itself. And if you wanted to, you could take a little bit of Lucky Hit on your gear so that you could reset your Creeper more often. And then last, of course, Masso. So you are getting your heal or your leech on hit. Those are the boons. Moving over to the Paragon board. And I just want to start by giving a shout out to one of my community members, Autobot Topper, who constructed this board over a month. I could not have put this build together without him. Thank you so much for the support. Now, at time of recording, I am level 88, and there is so much damage to be had in this board. If I was level 94, 95, 96, those extra 20-25 Paragon points would just be monstrous, but we're just not there yet. If you want to see a complete level 100 Paragon board, refer to the Icy Veins written out build planner. Normally it comes 1 to 2 days after the actual video or this video drops. So refer to that for the Paragon board. But for the gameplay you saw, I want to show you what I am working with. And I'll pause on each board if you want a screenshot. So starter board, what we are using on here is Shapeshifter. And this, I just started leveling this glyph. So unfortunately, I believe right now it's only level 11. We're slowly getting it up. Every other glyph is level 15. Our second board right here is Lust for Carnage. And the glyph we are taking on our second board is Undaunted. This is going to give you damage while fortified and damage reduction. All right. Moving over to our third board. And on here, we are using Werewolf. And this is going to give us damage in werewolf form and damage reduction. And obviously, werewolf form is going to be Shred, which is our main damage dealer. This board is Inner Beast. Then you could come down here, fourth board. And we are putting in Territorial. This is going to be damage to close enemies and further damage reduction. This board is Thunderstruck. And then we're going to come back up. Get up there. And you are going to put in Exploit, which is going to give you your vulnerability damage. This is Constricting Tendrils. And last but not least, you want to come up and you want to take Heightened Malice. And you want to use Spirit. And just check out this glyph for a second, level 15. 66.2% critical strike damage with core skills. Is massive. Moving over to everyone's favorite gear, starting with gems. Now we are using a two-handed weapon for this build, and you want to use emeralds, which is going to give you critical strike damage for vulnerable enemies. For your armor, you're going to want to use sapphires, which can give you damage reduction while fortified. And for your jewelry, you want to use skulls, which is going to give you base armor. Now I didn't hit home on it enough, but this build does not require any uniques. You don't got to go farm for hundreds and hundreds of hours to find that singular item to make the build work, which means, again, currently level 88, pushing Nightmare Dungeon 50s with just the stuff that drops that you can craft. So don't want to beat a dead horse, but basically anybody could put this build together. And we're going to go through each item one at a time so you can see it. And again, check out the Icy Veins written guide for best in slot affixes. Okay, my affixes are not best in slot. Helmet. We are using Cyclone armor, so this is also going to give us physical damage reduction. Chest. Damage reduction from your basic skills. Gloves. Increase your damage based upon your primary resource. Pants. When you shapeshift, you are given life. If you're full on life, you're going to get Fortify. This aspect is huge for this build and survivability. Boots. Becoming injured while crowd controlled grants you Unstoppable. Now, this is in there for those moments when you run into a pack of cold enchanted or something along those lines. Tramples on cooldown. I don't know what to do. I'm getting CC'd. You become injured and you could pop out of it. Weapon. Critical strikes with Shed deal lightning damage. Amulet. Your core skills deal up to 45% increased damage based upon your fortify amount. And you can see that on this amulet, I have +3 to quick shift passive. Ring. Critical strikes with core skills increase your attack speed. Shred. And Ring. Basic skills grant 30% attack speed, which is monstrous. That is the gear. Last but not least, let's break down the stats for our Shapeshifter. And standing in town, right now we're not proccing anything. At level 88, our attack power is 12,559, which is a massive number. For only being level 88, that is a massive attack power. And again, no uniques required. When we look at some other stat breakdown, the ones that matter, of course, your attack speed native is 35% boosted, critical strike chance is 29, critical strike damage combined is right around 200. And remember, there's a lot that is going to boost these numbers even higher in combat. That is why we can push 50 plus nightmare dungeons. And a lot of times when you are playing, your attacks are going to be hitting from anywhere from 1 to 400,000 damage. All right, everyone, that's the build guide. What do you think of my Shapeshifter Druid? Is there something I missed? Is there something I can do to take this to the next level? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. 2 asks at the end of the video. Ask number 1, I'm hoping today is the day I have earned your subscription. Hoping today is the day you make the decision to push that little red button. I would really appreciate it, but of course, only if you think I deserve it. Ask number 2, check out my Patreon. Thank you to the first 86 members that have signed up. Become an instant ARPG VIP and get Patreon exclusive content at the first link in the description. I get asked all the time, Aaron, what is the best way to support? And Patreon is it. You get so many added features, including access to the Aaron Action RPG VIP YouTube channel. You get in the VIP lounge on Discord. You get access to the bonus hour of the podcast and lots of other goodies. First link in the description. This will also be build 3 on Icy Veins. So if you're looking for any of my written guides, go over there. It is the second link in the description. That's all I've got. Hopefully you're entertained or at least learned something. Aaron, out.